This is Justin Derby of Wildcat Spread 40 bringing you a brand new experimental video segment. As those of you who follow my blog know, in the preseason I give my predictions on how I think the Northwest Conference will actually go down, whereas during the season I only cover Linfield football. Well, I figured I should expand on that a little bit, and starting this week I will start giving a game day style preview of every game in the Northwest Conference going on in the week, as well as give my predictions for them. It's time to get things started. And the first game of the week is between Pacific Oregon, Simon Fraser. A Thursday night game, actually. Pacific Oregon is coming off a 1-8 season and just its second year of football since they reinstated the football program in 2010. Simon Fraser is coming off a 3-7 season. Both teams kind of bad, at least the last couple of years. But as far as picking a winner for this game goes, I'm going to have to go with Simon Fraser. Even though they sucked last year, Simon Fraser did have a strong running game, averaging just under 190 yards per game on the ground, led by their running back, Bo Palmer. As for Pacific, a lot of people think they're on the uprise and that they'll be a competitive football team here in the near future. However, since they've gone 1-17 in the past 2 seasons, I do not feel like it's a wise idea to pick them to beat somebody right off the bat. So, in that case, I'm going with Simon Fraser to beat Pacific. The first game on Saturday between Puget Sound and Swayini. Puget Sound coming off an 0-9 season, and Swayini coming off a 5-5 season after spending many a year as one of the lower teams in Division III. Pretty easy game to call. Puget Sound really bad last year. They have a good passing game led by their quarterback Braden Foley and a great star of wide receivers led by Adam Nithin and Thiessen Chang. However, no defense, no running game. Swayini coming off a 5-5 season. I'm going to have to go with Swayini on this one. The next matchup to look at is between Whitworth and St. Scholastica. St. Scholastica is coming off a 10-1 season in their 4th year of football since being reinstated back in 2008. Whitworth is coming off a 4-6 season in which they won 3 of their last 4 games to finish last year's campaign. Now, from the outset, I bet a lot of people are thinking St. Scholastica, coming off 10-1 season, returning skilled players and key players from that team, will probably beat Whitworth's census. However, I'm going the opposite direction. Whitworth ended last year on a really positive note, and they also have the best group of offensive skill players in the Northwest Conference besides Linfield. Quarterback Brian Peterson, running back Ronnie Thomas, Ello and DeGoyer at wide receiver. Whitworth has a ton of weapons on offense and a very, very good defense. And they're supposed to be a contender for the NWC title this year, so if Whitworth is going to be a contender for Linfield's crown, they're going to have to win this game against St. Scholastica, which I predict that they will. And another game for the Northwest Conference on the day is between Willamette and Hardin-Simmons. Both teams are coming off disappointing seasons last year. Willamette was expected to be a contender for the Northwest Conference crown to Linfield, ended up with a disappointing 4-6 record. Hardin-Simmons started out last year as a top 10 team, but finished the season with a disappointing 6-4 record. Now, both teams return a number of good players. Both defenses will be strong. Now, this probably will be a very competitive game between 2 teams looking to have much better seasons than last year. However, being that this game is being played at Hardin-Simmons, and Hardin-Simmons seems to have a good home field record against teams from the Northwest Conference, I'm going to have to say Hardin-Simmons will win this game with Willamette. As much as I would love to give a pre-game prediction or even just a key to the game for the Linfield-Menlo game, the fact of the matter is I'm already covering that game exclusively as part of my coverage of the Linfield football program. And like the guys on ESPN's College Game Day, it's just not a wise policy to make a prediction for a game that you're going to be at and cover exclusively. So I won't do that, and I'll let my blog do the rest of that. This is Justin Derby of Wildcat Spread 40, bringing you the Week 1 predictions of the Northwest Conference.